Okay, so having a YouTube channel isn't always the funnest thing in the world. 2019 was a tough year thanks to YouTube's algos singling out my channel while allowing other similar channels in the truth space on YouTube to flourish and grow. It stinks to have the deck stacked against you by YouTube, but you know what stinks almost as much? Getting targeted by another YouTuber in the space, especially when it's one that you've made an effort to be friendly with by interviewing and by sharing that channel's videos on my websites. Well, I've been called out and exposed by a fellow YouTuber who made a video saying, we need to talk about Virginia and the truth movement. Yep, High Impact's Brian tore me a new one for the video I made the other day titled Shall Not Be Infringed, a 5-minute video thanking the 25,000 patriots who showed up in Virginia on the 20th to illustrate for Governor Ralph Northam that our Second Amendment is the line in the sand. That video triggered Brian, who went on to make a 40-minute tirade about me, and strangely enough, he lied right out of the gate.
I really don't want to do what I'm about to do because I like the guy that I'm about to expose. I've talked with him about this before. I've given him a lot of time. He's got a big voice, a much bigger platform than I do.
Brian's claim that I have a much bigger platform than he does is a demonstrable lie. My main channel has 576,000 subs. My backup channel has 77,000 subs, while Brian's main channel has 563,000 subs, and his backup channel has 252,000 subs. So Brian has a total of 815,000 YouTube subscribers versus my total of 653,000. So Brian misrepresented the truth right out of the gate. So what did Brian find so offensive about my video? Well, he didn't like the word lawful, which was a word used in a tweet that I read, and incidentally did not write myself, a tweet that was merely comparing the tone, tenor, and behavior of the right-leaning patriotic crowd in Virginia to that of leftist rallies, which tend to be, well, more violent. So Brian went off for 10 minutes on the word lawful. Heads up, people. Over 22,000 gun rights activists in Virginia today. I think the number was actually closer to 25,000. One arrest, but no buildings on fire, no cars on fire, no people hurt, no bloody beatings, just peaceful, lawful gun owners and support.
Lawful. I hate that word, lawful. That means, oh, you submitted, you complied with the government. Lawful. Don't ever let anybody tell you that it's a positive or moral or right thing to be lawful. I hear this all the time. Alex Jones said it yesterday. Law-abiding citizens. You do not want to be known as a law-abiding citizen. A law-abiding citizen is an order follower.
But then he really got me on my next misstep. I had the audacity to play this soundbite from a sheriff who was in Virginia on the 20th.
If the bills go through as proposed, they will not be enforced. They're unconstitutional. We support to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Virginia, and that's what we'll do. Outstanding. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Did you hear that? And that was good enough for the cameraman. Not one cop that I talked to out there said anything like that. And even if they did, it's a bold-faced lie. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to play this in a second, but here, let me play this over. Listen to his words again.
Brian went off for like another 10 or 15 minutes, triggered. Honestly, like a dude on Adderall. Brian went off for 40 minutes calling me out and exposing me for, get this, for not hating our president, Donald J. Trump. By the way, I'll leave the link to my video which triggered Brian below, plus a link to his rant. So you be the judge. But just consider the ego it takes to position yourself as hero while using one's considerably large YouTube platform to call out and essentially spank another fellow patriot publicly. In my view, it's absolutely the opposite of honorable. Consider the fact that I'm being called out because I like President Donald J. Trump, whose political agenda is in most ways the exact opposite of those running against him for president. Consider that Brian chose unprovoked to watch my video and then make a 40-minute rant about how I'm misguided and hypocritical because Trump is a Zionist shill puppet. Just consider the pathology of someone who would approach this topic in the way Brian did. He could have emailed me and asked to come on for an interview so that we could debate the topic, but no, Brian decided to make a 40-minute rant video about me instead of acting with common decency, like a real man, and reaching out first. But nope. Brian made his video, released it, and then private messaged me on Twitter saying, we need to talk. Just think about that. Brian says he doesn't hate me. He hates Trump. And he used my video as his excuse to say so, couching all of it as a public service and his duty. Just consider the ego it takes to do that. You're a hypocrite. Trump is a Zionist, so I made this video, and now we need to talk. Honestly, in what other area of life would one get away with acting like that? Could you get away with behaving so dishonorably at work with your boss? I made a video about what an a-hole you are. We need to talk. How would that go off with your wife? Our marriage is in shambles. I made a video about it and put it on YouTube. We need to talk. No, sorry. Although I don't think Brian is a Fed, this is the type of provocateur, infighting BS a Fed would do. It's really beneath contempt. Yeah, I'm the one who lit your house on fire. Now we need to talk about why I did it. That's some cold-hearted crap. And think about this. Brian could have called out David Pakman or Sam Cedar or the Young Turks or Joe Rogan, all of whom would love to see Bernie Sanders in the White House or Hillary Clinton. But no, he came after me because Trump. What kind of man does that? What kind of man doesn't reach out first, but goes straight into the unprovoked 40-minute rant on YouTube, releases it publicly, and then claims we need to talk? Think about it. It's entirely dishonorable and void of common decency. And as it turns out, Brian doesn't hate me, so he says. He hates President Trump. I bring all of this to your attention today because Brian refused to give me his cell phone number so that I could talk to him man to man. And instead, today he made several more videos about me and his issues with me. That to me is cowardice. Now you can say we're both public personalities, but it doesn't matter who you are in the public. Is common decency not required? I have always explicitly stated that I loathe infighting. And to me, this is some divide and conquer level garbage. And I think Not Heard, @Since Woke Up on Twitter, summed all of this up today quite nicely with these 3 tweets to Brian. @HighImpactFlix, saw your video on SGT Report. Very disappointing. You don't support Trump even though he wants to get rid of the Fed. That's fine. But how low do you have to be to make a video about a patriot trying to disseminate important information that should be public knowledge? Your one and only answer to anything is anarchy. Sure, so if America becomes an anarchist nation, who will stop the rest of the world from coming here to take advantage of us or just destroying us from afar? Your logic is flawed. I suggest you do some research and learn how to repeat information without using the same exact words and phrases over and over, or just stick to making cop videos. Out of everything you could be spending your energy on, you wasted it with that weak video. I've lost all respect for you. Thanks for watching. And for real news 24/7, you can visit us at sgtreport.com. God bless. Bye-bye.
That balance sheet, that's all debt. Do we never have to pay back debt? Do we never have to service debt? Do we never have to roll that debt over?